So we're not trying to read the future. We're just trying to shine the light on what needs to be brought to our attention. And so as I was shuffling and grabbing the deck, a card fell out. And immediately I was like, oh, it really wants us to know this one. Tarot, Oracle, all of it is more about following that gut intuition and letting it really guide you. And the biggest and hardest thing is to trust that how it's guiding you.
Well, welcome everyone to today's episode of TMI Advice You Didn't Want. Today we're doing some tarot. We're going to shake it up and have some fun and see what comes because, yeah, there's lots of stuff going on in the universe. And honestly, Ashley's the one that's going to be doing the tarot reading and all of that. I personally haven't delved too far into tarot, so she's going to kind of play with it today with us, and we'll kind of figure out where we're going. But in case we haven't met, my name is Karin. I'm one of the co-hosts here.
And my name is Ashley. And yeah, I'm not like a big person, like where I'd say I'm an expert by any means. Sorry, but I definitely enjoy playing with it, and we'll see what kind of conversations come up. So right now, so my favorite is animals. I love animals and mystical stuff. So I have my animal spirit guides, books, oracle, and tarot cards. So I grab them quickly. And so do you want to just see what comes up for you, or do you want to ask a specific question?
Yeah, I mean, let's just see what comes up for me.
Right.
Like, let's go for that. And then I don't know, maybe if you want to do like for the collective, I don't know, however you want to do it. Maybe you want to do it for yourself. I don't know if it works like that. I think it does.
Anything works.
Yeah.
So yeah, while I was shuffling, like just waiting for us to jump on, one popped out. And I don't know necessarily if it was for me, for you, or just because, but it was definitely like, look at me kind of thing. So I'll check out that one first. And then I just pulled two other ones. One of them also kind of jumped out.
Well, first of all, before you go into like what like your interpretation is, do you want to explain what you're doing? Because there might be some people that are like, I've never done tarot, or and you don't really know what like how people decide what card to choose. That's something that's really, really important. So
yeah. So essentially, so I'm shuffling the spirit animal deck. And so this is it's called, I'll show it here just for those people that are on YouTube, but if you're on the podcast, it won't really matter. So it is the Spirit Animal Oracle deck. And yes, so I'm shuffling the cards, and just my intuition is to see what our spirit is wanting us to have a better understanding of. So we're not trying to read the future. We're just trying to shine the light on what needs to be brought to our attention. And so as I was shuffling and grabbing the deck, a card fell out. And usually that's like, okay, this is definitely a card that is needed. And sometimes sometimes a card falls out and it's like, oh, put it back in. No, nothing there. It fell out, and immediately I was like, oh, it really wants us to know this one. And then I was shuffling the deck for talking to you about your cards. And again, one slipped out, and I'm like, oh yeah, this one. And then I was shuffling. I'm like, okay, now I have two cards. Do I want more? And my gut instinct was yes, because tarot, oracle, all of it is more about following that gut intuition and letting it really guide you. And the biggest and hardest thing is to trust that how it's guiding you. So, and my answer was, yeah, pull the top card. So there's a lot of corresponding aspects here. So the first card that fell out was the frog spirit. And so it says clear out the clutter. And the number on it is a 2 and an 8. And as we both, me and Karin, like numerology, so I always pay attention to the numbers. And then the next card is the turtle spirit, and it says slow and steady wins the race, and it is a 6 and a 2.
God, that is so true right now. I can't even, like, literally, that is what I have been knowing in my intuition, that's where I am right now. So that's friggin'
Just
nice.
wait. Just
Okay,
wait.
okay, okay.
So we have a 2 and an 8, a 6 and a 2, which equals an 8, another 2, and then we have another 2 and a 6 for the flamingo spirit,
Fucking
which,
eights everywhere, people.
yeah, and twos, so it's all eights, twos, and sixes, like unbelievable.
And I'm
And
reading what it says there, and I'm like, holy shit. Okay, I'll let you read it because it's so true. Everything this is literally what's going on in my life right now. Like, nobody could have made this up. That's fucking nuts.
and that's why I love it so much. So the flamingo spirit says embrace the in between.
Yeah. What the fuck? Okay, so if anybody doesn't know what's going on with me right now, I've talked about it on this podcast before, but I left a business partnership in March. And so I'm kind of in this like weird in between place right now where I've literally been like, I just gotta love this moment right now. And like that whole embrace the in between. That's literally where I am right now. Just going, I don't have to do anything right now because that's been the struggle for me where it's like, oh, but I should do something. I should do something. But I keep intuitively knowing that if I do that, I'm just going to frustrate myself and I don't want to do that. So I've literally just been like, no, just pause. It's okay. And I keep telling myself there's power in the pause. There's power in the pause. And so, and on our last podcast, I said this too, like I heard this where it was like that, like just, whoa, shit, now I lost it. It's okay. Maybe it wasn't as important as I thought it was, but oh yeah, the only way out is in. Okay. Like I heard that one day and was like, yeah, that's so true. So like for me, the in between is just that time for me to go deeper into me and
Mhm.
really love myself. And like, there's definitely been stuff coming up for me too, as I'm embracing this pause, this just slow and steady, like all of the things that I'm literally in right now. There's things that are coming up that when I notice them, I'm like, okay, it's okay that I feel like that. I can let that go though, because it's not serving me. So yeah, wow, nobody could have made that shit up. But like that's the thing. Like, we've talked about this before, like tarot readers or intuitives, they're reading your energy right now too.
Mhm.
So it's like that's literally where I am, and I know that's where I am. So that's
Yeah.
fucking nuts.
Well, and it's so interesting because, like, obviously there's tons of numbers, and so the numerology to me is also like I know where you're at right now, and so like oh the sayings of each animal is like holy shit,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
and they're all also to me like water animals, and we're in that water stage or a water sign, like
Yeah.
it's kind of cool too, and that's what I like to look for is like the synchronicities of it all. And so just because we are a lot more, I don't know, maybe we'll go into all that. So that we are a lot more, both of us, into numerology. And so a 2 is all about balance,
Hmm.
right? And a 6 is Christ consciousness. So that is really like to me about being present and having integrity and just really allowing things to happen. And it's I think Christ consciousness to me is mostly about being present. I know we often differentiate a little bit about how we interpret sixes. Do you want to add anything to that one?
I mean, it's really like, to me, yes, being present, but like the more present you get, the more love you can feel, right? So, like, that's the only way, like, that's the other thing. The only way out is to get into the present moment. The
Mhm.
only way out of, if you're in a sticky situation or you're feeling frustrated or whatever, is just going internal and feeling the love for the current situation,
Yeah.
right? Experiencing it fully and going, you know what? Like, this is something I've been telling myself too recently. I am so happy for the amount of free time I've had recently because I'm not worrying about, oh, I have to do this for my business. Oh, I have to do that for my business. Right now, I'm just doing this podcast, which is kind of weird for me. And every once in a while, I'll do a YouTube video because I'm like, oh, I'm just so curious. I don't know what's going to happen if I do this. And I'm like kind of feeling that itch again to like test another YouTube video, but I'm really not going balls to the wall like I normally would, right? And I
Mhm.
feel like right now is the time for me to just enjoy and be
Yeah.
and experience like I haven't before, right?
Yeah.
Like, because I've always had to do something, right? Like
Mhm.
I've always put that on myself. And I'm realizing that I don't need to do that. And like right now, it really is about embracing that. So
Mhm.
yeah, that's fucking nuts.
So yeah, so the other thing for me for Christ consciousness is that if there is something that is dark or shadow, depending on how you want to talk about it,
Hmm.
um, it will scream at you.
Yes.
So like if there's ever something like you're lying about or you're hiding or anything like that, it's going to be like, wake up now or completely swallow you whole. And
Hmm.
so I don't think that's necessarily relevant to me with this whole oracle flip. It's more about the presence in the present moment. But just like part of Christ consciousness is shining that light. And then 8 is the affinity sign, which is the easiest one to remember, of abundance.
Hmm.
So, do you want me to read what the card specifically says?
Yeah, do it. Go for it.
Oh, and then with water, so the whole water aspect and water sign, to me, water is really about flow.
Fluid. Yeah.
And it also like water, there's a quote I love about water because I'm very water sign orientated. And it's like I can cleanse you, I can calm you, and I can be a storm and I can kill you.
Yeah. So
And
true.
so so to me water is just that like being in flow aspect. So
Well, and
yeah.
you can't really like you can like swim upstream, but it's going to be very difficult, right? Like it's going to
Mhm.
be a lot
Mhm.
harder than if you go with the flow. And when you look at the power of water, water can create things like the Grand Canyon. Like
Yeah.
it is so powerful even when it's going that slow and steady because it's not like there are some big rapids in the Grand Canyon, but there's also like slow and steady. Yeah, exactly. The turtle, the slow and steady, and that's what
Winter.
wins the race. And like
Yeah.
all of these things is like what I'm understanding to be true in my life right now too. So yeah,
Mhm. Yeah.
cool.
I'll read it to you specifically here. So the oracle message, frog spirit knows that while all other frogs are croaking away, this is a time for you to simplify and declutter your
Mhm.
life so you can feel content on your own lily pad. Even when life isn't creating a total um I'm gonna say this wrong, cacophony.
Cacophony.
Cacophony. Thank you. Um, we can become drawn to the excitement of lots of noise. Then, the next thing we know, our schedules in our homes are cluttered with commitments we regret making and objects taking up valuable space. Even relationships need decluttering, as they often become too messy. Frog Spirit appears to tell you to clean house, prioritize what you need, and get rid of or give away all the rest. So you can have some space in your day and in your head. You don't need the old stuff and its stories shouting at you about the past. Along with the physical declutter, friendships are sometimes kept long past their expiration date, weighing you down with unnecessary baggage. Now is the time to let go. Whatever you need will appear when you need it. So release your grip on all the clutter that is making you feel anxious and burdened. Frog Spirit wants you to reclaim your space, unencumbered by shoulds, oughts, and could have beens. Let go and jump. You are free from all of that old stuff.
Yeah, I mean that's literally what's going on in my life right now. And like that
Mhm.
was what I had to do when I left that business too, where it was like, yeah, this isn't serving me anymore. And it was not an easy step to walk away from that because there were friendships that I was like, okay, I don't want to hurt this friendship, but this isn't working. So,
Mhm.
yeah, and I continue to look at like what are my thoughts and feelings around that too, because the one that will pervade my mind every once in a while is like, oh, do they feel like I abandoned them? Are they
Mhm.
angry at me? And every time I notice that I'm feeling that way, I'm like, wait a minute, like who cares? That I can't do anything with that. All I can do is go, hey, if they're doing that, that's not my energy, that's their energy.
Yeah.
So when what I've been doing recently, this is I don't know what prompted me to do this, but was to kind of feel in my energy field and feel if any of that was sent my way, like anger or whatever sent to me. And there have been specific times when I've done that where I have felt it or I haven't felt it. So I'll
Mm-hmm.
feel in my energy field and go, is this something that's been thrown at me between whenever I've done this last? And sometimes it's a no, and sometimes it's like, yeah. And so when I notice that it has been thrown at me and I'm holding on to it, I go, no, no, no. I'm going to send that back to them, but with awareness that that's what they're doing. And so
Yeah.
it's like, I'm just going to let this go. Like, there ain't nothing I can do about it. And every time I do that, I feel immediately better. And I'm like, okay, yeah, like that. There is definitely something to that. And it's always an intuitive knowing that it's happened or it hasn't happened. And every
Yeah.
time that I do that, I'm like, okay, I needed to do that and kind of let that go. Whether that's just me making myself feel better or not, it doesn't matter, because to me, it does make me feel better. So I'll just keep doing that until, like, just keep doing it and let that shit go, because I don't need that. That's not for me. That's someone else projecting onto me, and I don't need that. So
Exactly. Yeah, for sure. So the turtle spirit card here is turtle spirit arrives to remind you that when you do what you need to do, which is what you just explained, of like having to let that all go, putting one foot in front of the other and trusting that you will see your intentions manifest in perfect timing, your prosperity and love will grow exponentially. Now is not only the time to rush around trying to force matters, move slowly, perhaps even so slow that it almost feels as if you're not moving at all.
oh,
This
fuck yeah.
this may be a time to crawl before walking, taking your time to align to Turtle's place, Spirit's place, sorry, as you contemplate this road you're on. Doing what you need to do in this moment will soon pass. Turtle Spirit reminds you that sometimes the best action is to slow right down. So if it feels as if you're not doing enough, know that simply being aware of what is happening right now may be an important step toward determining whether you need to pivot or simply keep putting one foot in front of the other. True love and true success comes with patience, says Turtle Spirit. Focus on the now, and the next step will be clear.
Yep, 100%. Yeah. And I would definitely say that I am currently living all of that, where it's like,
Mhm.
yep, that's exactly what I need to do. And I know that's what I need to do. So I have, and you know, Ashley, I haven't been like running into do anything really. Like, I'll pick up stuff. Like, I was invited to become a part of the Amazon influencer program, right? So I started doing that, and I really wanted to get a lot of videos up for that so that I could just make passive income with it. And now I literally am just making passive income with it. Like, I haven't done a goddamn thing in like a month with that, but I'm still bringing in money. And so I'm like, okay, like, whatever, that's all I need to do with that. And I haven't felt like the need to go do anything else with it. It's just like, take my time right now. And that's, yep, all of
Mhm.
it. So yeah, yeah.
Yeah, well, that one for both of us, like as I was reading it, you're like, oh yeah, fuck yeah. And in my head, I'm like, oh yeah, I've heard you use these exact words about your
Hmm.
life right now. And
Hmm.
sometimes that's all tarot or oracle cards are. It's just that confirmation.
Hmm.
And that's usually what we need more than anything. It's just that like reminded trust, support, and faith in what we're doing. I find that there's not usually big like, whoa,
Right.
like aha moments because it's picking up on your current energy.
Hmm.
So it's just like those subtle, yes, like this is where you're at right now, or like maybe you're resisting something and it's encouraging you past that resistance.
Hmm. Yeah.
So, flamingo spirit, balance comes easily to flamingo spirit, who sees what was, what will be, and stands strong in the face of uncertainty. You can be informed by what came before and plan for a future yet to be, but do not resist flamingo spirit's call to be fully present in the now, where the real magic happens. With one foot in the life you are moving away from, and one foot in the future as you become the one who leads the life of your highest intentions.
Yes.
You must place peace with the fact that you are not fully in either place. Embrace the in between. The presence of flamingo spirit is also a sign that you are creatively arising within you and opportunities are beginning to present themselves. Remain here in a balanced state of mind, and if there is much to know and learn before going forward with new plans, you can trust this moment and yourself as you take in what you see and become aware of all that you experience in this time.
Yep. All of it.
So I like Oracle because they're very, very clear.
Hmm.
I find that tarot is a little bit more interpretation based on the images because every tarot is like designed differently. Like I have Mystic Fae and angels and all that kind of stuff, and they're all kind of there's a little bit there's traditional tarot and then there's whoever has designed those cards. It's kind of what I know. Again, I'm not a big tarot person. Um and so this one here I find is a little bit different than traditional tarot, but it is animal tarot.
Hmm.
And um, so I usually do when I do a tarot reading is I will look at the images, but I also like to read what it says because I find that that gives me a lot of clarity as well. And so I'll show you the pictures here because the pictures are really where really good tarot readers are going to be able to talk about it based off of the pictures and their intuition. So the first card I pulled is the Judgment card. And so this one here specifically, I did pull it in reverse. I'm looking at what oh no, that's not the right page. So it talks here about the animal. So the animal is the cicada for that one here. And so there's a description for the cicada. Do you want me to tell you what the cicada
Yeah,
stands for?
sure. Also, are you still pulling for me or are you pulling, who are you pulling for now?
For you.
Okay.
So I usually, so what I do
And this is
personally,
a different, like, just to clarify for everyone listening, this is a
mhm,
different tarot deck that she's pulling from.
yes. So this is a tarot deck. The one before was an oracle deck. Oracle, I usually do one or two cards, and then or whatever comes out. So for you, my intuition was three cards because two of them flopped out, and then I just pulled one. And then two popped out for the tarot while I was shuffling as well, like I explained in the beginning. And then I usually do pull three for tarot. And I usually do it based on the first card is your past, the middle card is your present, and then the last card is your future. Sometimes when I look at the cards, I'm feeling a different gut representation, but I'll show you the flop actually for those watching. But based off of this flop here, I personally do very much believe it is in alignment with past, present, and future.
Hmm. Okay,
So it is,
so the cicada that you pulled out in Judgment was past, correct?
yes. And
Okay,
it's in
that's
reverse.
interesting.
Yeah. And then the Two of Pentacles is upright and present, and it makes sense. Like if you look at the imagery. And then the Nine of Swords is future. And I also like that numerology wise too. So to kind of like this is so intuition again, I'm not very practiced with tarot, so my intuition isn't as strong as some other people. So
But
and
listen, you're
everyone
still a Reiki master, so you're very intuitive. So come on, let's give you some
and
credit.
and everyone like I we used to have like tarot parties. So we would flip our deck and everyone would kind of intuitively collectively talk about them. So too for you, if you're like, ooh, that strikes this image for me, um talk about it for sure. But for the cicada, I don't, and people that do tarot all the time know what judgment means. I don't know what judgment means unless I read it,
Mhm,
or the Two of Pentacles or the Nine of Swords. So it's all imagery and then I read from the book. So
mhm, mhm.
so this one for me, to me, is he's working. That's the impression I get,
Is
is that
what? Say that again.
he's working, he's putting in effort to get what
Okay.
he
Okay, the cicada
um
is working. Yeah, that's still my life or my past life. How's
yeah.
that?
And so I don't know to what degree, like because he has like I don't know if that's food or that is a baby or what. And then the flowers to me signify also blossom, but they're not fully opened. They're there, opened, but not fully in bloom. And I think that represents your life as well. So 5 is freedom and flexibility. You've had freedom and flexibility, but not to the full extent that you want. You've had a lot of amazing success, but not to the full extent that you want. So, but I will read the card here.
Mm-hmm.
And sure, I'll do them all quickly and then. So the Two of Pentacles. So in your present, it also makes sense because in the Oracle, you had tons of twos.
Mm-hmm.
And so now we're back. Oracle, I only read based off of present tense. And so this is your present tense card, and it's a 2. And Pentacles are usually about finances more than anything else, in my opinion. And so the Two of Pentacles, you can see how has his 2 back feet planted and he's about to jump. So like you are in that in between flamingo stage kind of thing.
Yep.
So I do not know off the top of my head what the swords represent. Don't remember. And so in my opinion, it would be around conquering. And so this is my interpretation of it based on the imagery. I believe that is a centipede. And I don't know enough about centipedes to have anything come from that. But 9 is completion, and this is your future card. So I feel like this is representing that, like you're conquering your future, and it is going to come into completion everything that you wanted.
Oh,
That's my random
I would
little
say it's right
thing.
on track because I already know like that future, like I can feel it so deeply.
Mhm.
And like from what you and I know of manifestation and how I've manifested in the past, if you want to experience it, you have to feel it fully and be grateful for it right now before it happens. And I can easily put myself into that space.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's definitely my future. Like, no question. So, and I know it's already created, right? Like, that's already, like, if you look at, I don't care if you call it quantum field or source or whatever, there are all of these different paths that you can go on. And, like, there's all these different choices you can make. And I already know that the choice that I want has already been created in that quantum, and that I just need to continue to feel and experience.
Mhm.
And it comes into fruition as I become more and more in alignment with it. So, yeah.
Yeah.
And on our last podcast, we were talking about alignment. And for me, alignment is your thoughts and your feelings, your brain thought, your body feeling are in alignment. They
Mhm.
like the thought that you're thinking and the feelings you're having are the same. And so you
Mhm.
can draw that thing to you because you're not fighting yourself. You've
Yeah.
created that balance with yourself. And so now you can draw it your way.
Yeah.
So,
The
yeah.
other cool thing is like this goat has like it's kind of like a yin yang in a way of like the 2 pentacles are on either side of him. And then if you look very closely, he has 1 foot on the rock that he's leaping off of and 1 foot off.
Yeah.
And that's similar to what the flamingo oracle card says, how you have 1 foot planted where you're at and 1 foot planted where you're going.
Yeah.
So so cool.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna read cicada first. So there are at least 3,000 species of cicada, with most living in the tropics. They can live a relatively long time depending on where they are. Um, their lifespan tends to range from 4 to 17 years, with periodical cicadas living the longest, or peredical. I don't know. Often mistaken for one of the more harmful locusts, a group of cicadas is known as a plague or a cloud. Do you have cicadas where you live?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah, me
yeah.
too.
Yeah.
So, yours was reversed. So, reverse is accusation, self-loathing, and criticism. Very extreme language
Mm-hmm.
there. When reversed, judgment usually signifies that self-doubt has taken root. And remember, this is in the past.
Past.
So I
Yeah.
think that could be a little bit more accurate too. Trapping you in a quagmire of inaction. The world is
Yeah, that
calling,
doesn't fit.
no, the world is calling out to you, urging you to rise up and make a choice. But while you hear it, you fear what such a choice may require of you. Perhaps the journey seems to be daunting, the effort too immense, but you can silence the call to action no matter how hard you try. You can't silence the call to action no matter how hard you try. This card is a reminder that you need to ignore the inner critic and do do what must be done. Doubt has no place in your journey. Take steps to pull yourself out of the mud and move forward. You won't accomplish anything while hiding your head in the sand. Okay, so that makes sense to me. And you've already kind of talked about that because this is your past.
Mm-hmm.
So it is very different reading it than what my intuitive says that, but either
Yeah,
way
honestly, I think that you had it more on the head with what you were saying than the reading of it. Yeah, yeah.
so the way it works is because you are very much a take action kind of person. So that's where
Hmm.
we both were like, ooh, the
Yeah,
inaction threw us
that
off.
doesn't fit at all.
But how long did you feel not in alignment in your business before you
Oh
quit?
yeah, it took me a long time. Yeah, it took
So
me a
I
really
think
long time.
that fits. Like where it was like you knew you had to take action, but you weren't ready yet. And it kept coming back to you and it kept presenting itself in your health over and over again. And finally you're like, fuck this, enough is enough, which is what it says. Like it's like you're not gonna not be able to take action any longer. Like you have to like and that's how you felt. You're like when you're done,
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
like, fuck, I'm done.
yeah. Like 4 years ago, I was literally at the worst of the worst when it came to my health,
Yeah,
and I was like, I can't do this anymore. So I don't want to
yeah,
work the way that I've been working. And it wasn't even the work; it was the thoughts I was thinking, because
yeah.
it was literally like this woe is me, like. I'm
Mhm.
doing all the things and nothing's happening. And I would have, like, literally, I would have mentors tell me over and over again, you're doing all the things that I would have done.
Yeah,
You're just not even like, you're not even close to where you're doing more than I did to get where I am. And I'm like, why the fuck? And I kept hearing that. And so it was like this woe is me playing out. I just
yeah,
didn't see the patterns until I decided to choose to see those patterns.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that makes sense in your past.
Hmm.
In action of like doing what you truly wanted to do and what your passion is and what you're called for. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So now Two of Pentacles is the mountain goat. Um, Mountain goats are not goats at all, but actually are more closely related to antelopes. Native to North America, they can jump 3.6 meters, 12 feet in one leap, and are the largest mammal in high altitude environments. After the first 22 months of life, mountain goats can be aged by counting the rings on their horns. So, and then yours was upright. And upright is hustling, flexibility, balance. So a mountain goat leaps from one climbing rock to the next, outstretched, confidence, and fearless. Goats are a long-time symbol of virility. I don't even know what that means, virility.
It's
Faith.
like, it's like, God, how do you say this? Like, plentiful.
Mm. Faith and independence. They move sure-footedly through the rocky terrain, taking leaps that could spell their doom. Should they overestimate their distance they need to cross. When upright, the Two of Pentacles signifies you're currently juggling many different responsibilities, work life, family life, and all the little tidbits in between are roving around your head. And you are succeeding in keeping them all afloat, but that isn't to say much productivity is permanent. Your energy won't last forever. Manage your priorities carefully and stay focused. Ask for help if you need it and try to be flexible as life changes around you. You may be balancing work and family perfectly one week, only for something to change the next. Be attuned to these changes and open to changing yourself to keep up with them. Balance is key to staying on top of things. The best way to do many things is to do one thing at a time.
Yeah, I feel like the other deck was definitely like way more on point, and I was like, yes, yes, yes. This one is definitely like I could see that, but it's like kind of stretching a little bit. So,
Yeah. And like for me, like when I look at the imagery of it with like the twos and like him in the universe, um, and like one foot on the rock and one foot out of the rock about to leap, to me it signifies so much in
hmm,
alignment with the flamingo card.
hmm.
And so when we read it, it's not so much
Yeah,
like
the reading of it is like,
accurate. But my intuitive way of looking at the imagery is it fits perfectly. Like when I saw that card to me was like the perfect description of where you're at, like in my head of how I relate to it. And that's also like when I before I even started reading at the tarot, I said tarot is more intuitive, whereas oracle is more of a straight message. And so I did go into my intuitive reading before the book reading. And like you said, the intuitive reading makes sense. So yeah, but we'll keep going here quickly with the centipede. Centipede originates from Latin and translates into 100 legs despite its name. A majority of the species. So this is something I was going to say too, and I don't know yet because I read the animal and then I go to the card. The 100 legs is to me representing all of your different streams of income.
Mm.
You are creating many. And the swords are opposite of each other. So for those who can't see it, they're crisscross. So where the shaft is on the other sword, the blade is, and back and forth. And so to me, it also represents the two in balance as well. So despite its name, a majority of the species possess far fewer than that, most having only 15 to 30 legs. And as active predators, centipedes seek out and hunt prey. They usually are targets of insects. They usually target insects, spiders, worms, and other large species of centipedes are known to eat frogs, small birds, and even bats. I didn't know that.
Mm-mm. That was a big centipede. Gross.
Yeah, interesting. So different than what I had said.
Mm.
So upright is depression, nightmares, anxiety. A centipede skillfully winds its way through intersecting swords, narrowly avoiding certain doom. With their many legs and segmented bodies, centipedes signify deep fears that plague both the conscious and subconscious mind. Some of them are venomous, while others are perfectly harmless. Though it may be impossible to tell at a glance, the Nine of Swords tells us that we are entering a period of fear and anxiety, and through careful consideration, the danger may in fact be as tangible as a fading dream. When upright, the Nine of Swords signifies the I can't say this word right now. Deluge. The
D-E-L.
Lug. The
I
Lug
don't
is not.
know. I don't know what that is.
So it signifies all of the anxieties plaguing you. You're fixated on everything that could go wrong. Obsessing over your anxieties is a double-edged sword. If you allow yourself to give into fear, your worst nightmares may just come true. Thankfully, for much of the fear causing your sleepless nights resides only in your head. Try to replace negative thoughts with positive ones and reach out if you struggle to remain optimistic. Lean on those you trust to steer you towards a positive situation. The best way to combat your monsters under your bed is to turn on the light.
Yeah, I don't think so. That doesn't at all hit. At all.
No, and it's so interesting because when I looked at the imagery, like I was like, I thought about balance, I thought about all the legs and all that kind of stuff, and it fit for me too. But what I read doesn't. So this is your future card.
That would be like I was going backwards. I ain't
Yeah.
never going fucking backwards like that. That sounds like the worst.
Yeah.
I don't
So
even know what
so
that is.
part of me is like, let's see what ends up happening because it's a future card. Obviously, like we've preached on so many other podcasts, you create your life
Yeah.
and you create your future, and tarot does not dictate that whatsoever.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
But when I looked at the images, they fit. When I read the text, not so much.
Mm-hmm.
But tarot is more about intuition and images than the book. And
Yeah.
I don't even know, we could even cross compare it with traditional tarot and look up what the traditional tarot of those cards meant because I don't have any of that memorized. And I know this deck, like I said at the beginning, is very different than traditional tarot. So
Yeah, yeah. So, well, I took up the whole show, so maybe we do you next time. I don't know, but
sounds
with
good.
yeah, with that, I think we can call TMI advice you didn't want a wrap for today. If you're watching on YouTube, give us a like and subscribe, and leave us a question or comment if you like. And if you're listening on your favorite podcast host, go ahead and give us a 5-star, and we'd love to hear from you as well. So let's call TMI advice you didn't want a wrap for today. See everyone next time. Thanks so much for watching. Click on one of the videos below to continue hanging out with us, and don't forget to subscribe.